So, I'm gonna give people a few minutes to get in here. Going over, going over a little law today, right? So, before we get into that, a lot of people say that I don't have receipts for what I be saying, but the receipts don't be always presented in my lectures. But I always got receipts. It's just, are you willing to go and investigate to see what Ryan Hayes talking about, or are you going to jump on a bandwagon of some naysayers who have no validation to what they telling you? They just giving you a dogmatic uh, doctrine to follow, and you follow the dogma. So, to get out of that dogmatic um, way of doing things, we want to go into a little law, because law is critical to understanding uh, what's taking place on the land. And we've been asking for Larry Hoover to come forward. Larry Hoover is not at Colorado AdMax no more. I already said this months ago. He's at the continuity of government. This the big motherfucking shebang right here. We still saying free Larry Hoover because we trying to get the attention to the grassroots, that all of the chieftains on the land at the top is united. We just trying to let the grassroots know that the organic people of the earth and reclaim this bitch from pole to pole, from prime meridian to prime meridian, equator to equator. However you want to slice this motherfucker, in 4 quarters, in 2 halves, or whether you want to keep it a single solitary whole, does not matter, because this shit is already done. So I'm going to walk y'all through the 10-step process. This is called 10 moves to checkmate. So I'm going to walk y'all through the 10-step process, or the 10 questions that you got to ask in order to determine if a person know what's going on the land, in order for y'all to know where we at in the process. So the big reveal is coming soon. I have good reason to believe that Malachi York Savior's Day for the Nuwaubians is Malachi York's birthday, and we might see him there. I'm just speculating right now. I can't prove that. I got to make this clear that I can't prove that, but I believe that, but I can't prove it. So the first thing we're going to get at is the contract situation, because a contract is an agreement between 2 parties. So the first question is the easiest question, right? And the first question is, does all contracts have a lifespan? So what made this come up is because people keep saying, how do you keep saying Taj is all right, wise and exact, and he's telling people something that they presume to be different than what I'm telling them. So the question is, does all contracts have a lifespan? The answer is yes. So now, the reason we know this, because things have expiration dates. Anything that got an expiration date have a lifespan. The lifespan is from the time that it's active until the time that it expires, right? So you get a warranty on the car because for the duration of the time you should be paying on it, you're trying to have the company that own the car keep the maintenance up on it, so that when you do buy the car, it's finally fully purchased, which they tricked you out of that with a title and deed to the car. So your car title is a savings bond and an agreement to use your car on behalf of the interests of the corporation that you part of, called the United States, or the respective state, as they say in law. So the question, if contracts expire, in that the United States Constitution written in blood was in fact a contract, and the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, what they call the treaty, in fact is also a contract. When do these things expire? Right? Now, the reason why we ask when do they expire, because if you don't know, I have to tell you. Most of the guys that's Moors that's stuck in the dogma have no clue about what's really going on the land. They want you to follow the dogma. Well, the Christians, they said that at the end, somebody was going to come in to deliver them from the law into some shit called grace. Grace, that's Grace Kelly. Oh, it's a clue on the code. Oh God, you devil. Same motherfucker. We're the same motherfucker on both ends of the spectrum, the devil worshiper and the God worshiper. Right? Because he's the great deceiver. The deception is great, so you have to be able to see through the deception in order to get to the solution. So anyway, so the problem is the law. Biblically speaking, to tell you that the law is the law of man, and verse say, many shall run up to me and run up to the Christ in the last days and said, I healed the sick, I raised the dead, and I cast out demons, all in your name. And he gonna look at them motherfuckers and say, get thee hence, I know you not. Right? So whatever it was that they was doing under the pretense of doing it in the name of the Christ, then they was dead fucking wrong, and they didn't even know it the whole time, because he don't even acknowledge their presence. So when is the contract up is the question. Now, not one of them is going to tell y'all unless they get the answer from me, because I'm finna tell y'all the contract expired July 4th, 2019. 98% of them don't know that. The 2% that know it, they down there with Larry and them trying to organize this restructuring of the government and the exchange of power and the reorganizing of the wealth of the land. So while they doing that, I'm informing y'all, right? The ones who are dirty Moors, they chasing their tail and they think they got me in the headlock. And I'm laughing the whole fucking time, right? Because the righteous Moors know who you niggas is. Most of the dirty Moors is angry as fuck right now, right? Because the fez is lost to the feathers. So if they don't know that the contract expired July the 4th, 2019, then they need to sit their ass down and learn from the master. Because that was the expiration date on the contract. Right? Now, what brings a contract to its end? What causes the expiration of a contract? Right? Let me make sure that's the second question. Second question is, what was the lifespan of de facto corporation's contract? It was a 200-year contract under the United States. It was a 400-year contract under the biblical contract. And both of those contracts was brought by Etruscan Moors, who want us to call ourselves Moors, and Moor just mean black. But for the purposes of the Civil War, the Galactic Chess Game, the Conjure War, whatever the fuck you want to call it, we had to figure out when it expired so we can seize it, because it expired more than once. Right? The last time it expired, they wouldn't let me play in the game. That was right after 9/11. Right? The next time it expired, they still wouldn't let me in the game. That was in 2012. They told me that I didn't know shit, and I'd never figure out why we was in the condition we in. And they believe that I thought that I had came on a slave ship from Africa, and so wouldn't nobody allow me to take the test. But I ain't never believed that shit, because that shit not true. The whole slave shit narrative is a Notre Dame academic creation. That's why the slave ship that's popular, that make you look like sardines in the can. It's a 3-story building called Notre Dame University, right? It recently got zapped about 2 years ago. All right. Once the de facto corporation's contract expires or is terminated, losing even the color of law jurisdiction, what happens to the contract when the de jure proceed as if the contract is active? This is something that they call resurrecting the contract. So what the question is once all this shit done and we still trying to contract with this dead entity, what is taking place in the process? It's called the contract resurrected. Look it up. I'm not doing showing y'all a lot of references in this video because I'm telling y'all where to look for the information. You motherfuckers got to do some work like I did. So it's called it's called contract resurrected. When a dead contract expires, right, and one of the parties to the contract keep revisiting the contract and recontracting, those are what you call sidereal contracts. And they operating in the per diem capacity to keep the corporate legal fiction in position, right? So now, if they don't know this, they full of shit, right? So now, what is, okay, so that's contract resurrected. The next thing is, who is responsible to inform the people in the de jure capacity of the death of the contract? At the expiration of the contract, whose job is it to tell the people that that shit is over? They give you something in called a receipt when you deal with them. When you conclude your business with them, they give you a receipt. So who got the receipt that they seized the de jure jurisdiction from the de facto corporation? Who got this receipt that they done it using the culture, put it in the public domain, oral tradition? Who is the one responsible to put this in the public domain? Whose job is it? Is it your Grand Sheik job? Is it a collection of Grand Sheiks? Is it a Mufti job? Whose job is it to restore the de facto jurisdiction place with the de jure? Whose job is it to switch the government? Right? Now, under our tradition with the feathers, whichever chief discovers the anomalies, job is to report it to the collective tribes so it can be acted upon immediately. That's tribal shit, how we operate on the land without your paperwork. We don't need your paperwork. We know we can talk to each other like men because we understand the conditions, situations, and circumstances we under, right? So if I put it in the public domain, or if you put it in the public domain, who put in the public domain that the contract was expired and we were seizing that motherfucker, right? Now, in order to be in the de jure capacity, you got to have the blood, the right, and the knowledge, right? So you got to have right blood, right knowledge, in order to establish a competent jurisdiction, right? So, if the jurisdiction is to be competent, any chief on our side with the feathers, any chief that become aware that puts it out in the public domain tells the rest of the chiefs it's time to move, and they start moving. But if you don't know that, then you're not one of them feather-wearing motherfuckers on the land. Because us on the land understand that we all have the common feeling, common understanding that this is Big Mama shit, and we call Mother Earth Big Mama, and we call Mother Universe Big Mama, right? Sometimes we might switch it up, and we might call Mother Universe Big Mama, and we might call Mother Earth Mother Dear, right? So, if you don't know this, then you are operating in a capacity of imbecility in law. So, since they got imbeciles in law that doesn't know who got the blood and who got the right to exercise the redemption of the land, then I make them 3/5 compromise. They Dred Scott niggas, them slaves. They lost. So I'm going to show y'all. Because I got both the blood and the right. So what did I do? Let me show you what I did. I can show you better than I can tell you. I want y'all to listen. This is me talking. But as of July the 4th, the contract has expired. And because of my rank in the priesthood and because of my birthright and combined effort, I have first claim of right over all things here, physically and spiritually. I have the first claim of right to remove royalties from their throne, to restore priesthoods to their proper status, and to establish justice wherever injustice has been. And the first... Okay, so that's me. That's back in July of 2019, in order to tell the people what's going on the land. I'm going to give y'all the exact exercise of July my claim of right. July the 6th, that's 2 days after the contract expired, is when I gave that public notice. See, now when I gave that public notice, that changed the whole dynamic. So if you didn't know what the contract was, you didn't even know how to secure the rights under the contract in order to reclaim the land. To reclaim the land is to implement the Indigenous Rights Act and move to the females, the sisters, who are in a transition to government to restore the matriarchy. Now, if y'all didn't know none of this shit, and you talking about Rod Hayes don't know what he talking about, that's because I ain't no fucking more. Right? I'm just more than you niggas is because I did more hard work while y'all sitting there making fun and telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Taj had to continuously tell you dumb niggas how to navigate the contract, right? But y'all trying to do other shit, extra shit, all that extra shit. Taj he was telling you motherfuckers exactly what was right, how to navigate living under the contract of interim government on tribal lands that was operating in a de facto capacity. You are the de jure if you from the land. If you not from the land, you are the de facto. You are the white piece on the chessboard. That's why you have to be classified as a white person in law. If you truly assert your nationality, then you are no longer classified as a POW, black status in law. Because the POWs is the ones who was on the land that's being held hostage. The chess game. They've been telling us for years it's a chess game. You niggas playing checkers. So I learned the rules of chess. Right? So when you understand the game that's being played, the game can't be played on you. This shit is over because all of the chiefs on the land agreed to end it. Because I decided that since nobody else knew when the contract had expired, I had to put it in the public domain because I had both the blood, the right, and the rank to put it in the public domain and recapture the community back for the tribes of the earth tribes. 12 daughters of Isis. Different skin complexions, different hair textures. Mix them all up It's going to come out the same. When they get together in a civil sisterhood, then you motherfuckers is going to understand this shit a lot clearer, because it's going to turn your mitochondrial from 1 to 10. And when it turn your mitochondrial to 10, then the solar rays coming in is also going to contribute to the awakening of what you call your junk DNA. When your junk DNA wake up, that's when you're going to be aware of your psychic abilities and how you can see the full-time spectrum of this shit. Then none of you motherfuckers need for me to do this shit, but y'all didn't know what to do, so I took it up on myself to just do it, get it over with. I didn't come to take sides. I came to fix the problem. I don't care about your black versus white, your tall versus short, none of that shit. I don't care about your Democrat versus your Republican, all that dog and pony show shit. That's not the leadership of the land. The leadership of the land is all of those elderly old ladies called Big Mama sitting around telling all of the kids how to stay out of the way of some people that ain't got nothing to do with us. They know who they is. Sisters like Chief Warhorse or the sister on Facebook, Robel. They telling y'all this shit. Chief Janae, she got a YouTube channel. She telling y'all this shit. All these sisters is telling y'all, and y'all not listening, right? But I claim the key to the kingdom because I had the right. That's also time dated and stamped. I even seized the Vatican, which is also time dated and stamped. I also seized Buckingham Palace, which is also dated and stamped. I also seized all central banks, because the central banks was the mechanism that was passing the fruits of the poisonous tree to the individuals who was receiving the benefit. So it falls under the jurisdiction of the earth tribes to seize every fucking thing used to oppress us. It's all time dated and stamped. If you don't know none of that shit, leave Rod Hayes the fuck alone, and you won't have to worry about me stepping on your motherfucking face when this shit is over with. Right? Some of them out there don't understand what's taking place in real time. Example, if Taj see this video, he's no longer going to tell you how to navigate the contract. He's then going to have to tell you when the contract gets expired, all he can tell you to do is tribe the fuck up. Tribe the fuck up, they restoring the land. That's all he can tell you at that point. The contract is over. It's expired and the land has been restored back to the organic people of the land. It's all tribal land. How the fuck some invaders come and all of a sudden this shit ain't tribal land no more? We the caretakers of the earth because we come forth and proceed from the earth. Elijah Muhammad said it best. We the makers, the owners, the cream of the planet earth, gods of the universe. Now we everybody gonna either bump straight or get bumped the fuck off because this shit is over with. So you tell your dirty Moors it's over with. The feathers beat the fezzes. Checkmate, motherfucker, this shit is over. Right? And I'm still gonna tell y'all, Taj is the truth. Taj is all wise, right, and exact. He just wasn't privy to that piece of information that I dropped in this video. If he didn't know the contract was up, he was gonna continuously tell you ignorant ass motherfuckers how to navigate the contract so you don't have to be the victim of the contract. I know exactly what he was doing. How not to be a victim of white supremacy. White supremacy ain't even what you think it is because ain't none of y'all analyze it to find out it don't got nothing to do with skin color. It's about legal status. And white is the supreme status in the jurisdiction of the de facto corporation. This is their jurisdiction. Right? So this might be the most important video you motherfuckers ever see. Because this shit is so fucking over with that I can't even say it's over no more because I'm over saying that this shit is over. Everybody know that all we had to do at this point is tribe up but they want to ask questions that don't got nothing to do with tribing up. Or they want to tell you, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Don't none of them niggas know what's going on in Raven Rock, but I do. And I ain't even over there. They don't even know what the fuck Ravens Rock is in Colorado, but I do. They don't know exactly why I'm telling y'all to keep an eye on the Silver Lake in, the Emerald Lake in Silver Bell County, Colorado. They don't know why I'm telling y'all that's where the ship gonna land. That's where the fuck it's gonna land, but they don't know where it's gonna land. They can go back and try to act like it, but it's certain math involved they can do to verify that I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Right? So, the contract is up. They don't know the contract up, so they still trying to get people to contract with the slave master to become slave catchers. That's up to y'all. I don't care. I didn't come to take away more saints. I didn't come to destroy no Moors. I came to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me ride. I don't need no help from nobody else, because anything I want, I can go get it. I can get it on my own. I can get it from the dirt, or I can snatch it out the air. It don't even matter to me. Right? You can drop me off in the jungle, butt booty ass naked. I'm going to come out that motherfucker with a fur coat and the goddamn some eel skin boots. Right? Because I could get it from the fat of the land in any condition that this earth produced, because I'm the earthborn. Right? You could drop me in the desert. I'm going to come out that motherfucker with a motherfucking set of shades on. A motherfucking cactus cap. Right? I'm going to have a whole fucking cactus suit on coming up out that motherfucker. I can live off the fat of any parts of the land. You could drop me off in motherfucking Alaska when the snow 20 feet deep. Don't matter, I'm still going to come up because I know the land. I know how to live off the land, survey the land, utilize the land to my greatest advantage. I don't need your corporations and your job. Fuck a job. When y'all realize what's going on, half of you motherfuckers gonna leave your job so quick and welcome this little 2 to 3 months of struggle and warnings that they about to cut your shit off to have all that shit paid for at the end of the day anyway. But y'all ain't realizing what's happening in real time. Y'all think y'all chasing the bag, but y'all running from the bag. All these reparation motherfuckers, they think they chasing the bag, but they running from the bag. They all under the pretense that they chasing the bag, but the bag chasing them motherfuckers. If they stop chasing them false narratives, the bag gonna smack them upside the back of the head. They gonna accidentally fall and stumble up on wealth, and they ain't gonna even know what the fuck just happened. Cause one of these nappy head, red skin, dark colored motherfucking engines, the organic to the land, just so happened to speak the truth regardless of who got pissed off and tell you motherfuckers why this shit was over, how it was over, who did the dirt, what dirt they was doing, what was their agreements, showed you the agreements, the bloody blood oaths of the papacy, and all that shit. And motherfuckers want to continuously try to talk down about Rod Hayes. He don't know what he talking about. Michael Jackson is whatever the fuck. But they never check my receipts. Why y'all ain't check my receipts? You never check my receipts. But you say I don't got no receipts. I got all the receipts, but you say I don't got no receipts. When I told y'all about the $1 trillion buyback program, now y'all wonder why BlackRock buying up everything. Y'all wondering why Vanguard buying up everything. But y'all don't check my receipts. Rod don't know what he's talking about. You know, you can take damn near a photograph for every sentence I say to show exactly what the fuck I'm saying. I'm reading real time like a fucking tarot card reading. I'm showing you motherfuckers, Big Mama not playing. She said these weather anomalies, stop looking for niggas with bombs, start looking for rain and thunder and gorilla hailstorms and crooked man walking the land and walking lightning, and you motherfuckers seeing the shit, still not cashing, y'all still not checking the receipt. I say when these women start shaking their hips, talking to Big Mama, Mother Earth, she gonna start shaking the earth because she's gonna answer back. Y'all thought I was joking, and it was earthquakes everywhere. But y'all didn't check my receipts. The sister of the high priestess, Christine Vargas, did the same thing. But they talk about her, but they don't check her receipts. Nobody's checking the receipts. That's why I tell y'all don't take sides with the person. Take sides with the receipts. Right? Because this shit is like a violin. This shit resonate with motherfuckers because it's true. Your heart is naturally geared to resonate with the truth. But the naysayers come in and have you second guessing yourself. But if you check the receipt, the music continuously soothes. It's the atone, atonement, at oneness with the self. Because in order to be one with mankind, you got to be one with the self. In order to be one with the self, you got to be one with the universe, as above, so below. In order to be a subject to God, you got to be a servant to God. In order to be a servant to God, you got to have the capability to become aware and understand godly things. And if you understand godly things, then you are a God body. God in a body. And if you are God in a body, that means that your manifestation skills is based upon your awareness of what you manifested. I keep telling y'all tomorrow not here because we ain't created it yet. Right? All of this shit is an illusion that we constantly creating in real time as a unified agreement. Right now, we trying to get from hell to heaven, so to speak, fifth out of the third dimension to the fifth dimension, so to speak. We trying to exit poverty and inner wealth, and motherfuckers still want to argue about dogma, never knowing what the teacher was teaching because they thought they was listening, but they was just overhearing shit, right? And they thought that I was just overhearing shit, but I was actually listening. I was putting the pieces of the puzzle together, and they was rearranging the puzzle pieces, wondering why they don't fit, right? So at this point, this shit a wrap. This the motherfucker y'all share. Invite any more to answer these questions and show me who claimed the contract when it was up. You had 7 days to claim the contract, or else it was going to be an extension, right? So to kill the extension, what we do? Can y'all tell me? I just showed you what I did 2 days after the contract was up. There's nobody else can tell you that they asserted the de jure jurisdiction over the de facto corporation to close down that game. None of them. So I did everything that was supposed to be done. I showed y'all what needed to be shown. I'm just saying. Let me look in here and see what it says. What's going on, God? Can you hear me? I think your mic muted. I think your mic muted. We can't hear you.
Here we go. Hello?
There you go. What's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on,
yeah.
brother?
Not much, fam. I just been trying to tap in to try to link in some way to spread some of this stuff. You know, I be on that industry stuff, but I just been trying to figure out, fam, just one question. And I'm off and running. We was here in some form and sense before anybody else, right?
Yeah.
That's all I need to know. And I've been following, like I done read every Zachariah extension book, all that, and I know the course and the trade, but I just couldn't understand the overfaith for the underlay. And you put it out there for me. I
Yeah.
appreciate you, fam.
Yeah,
Every
we
so
always been here.
yes,
We got tribes all over the earth that always been here. But there's one tribe that haven't always been here, and that's who we trying to get rid of.
Yeah. And that's them from Enlil?
Yeah, them and little kids. Them the bad kids that came to the spirit school and started putting establishment in it.
Yep. That's all I need to understand, fam. I got a few joints I'm gonna send you with that free Larry Hoover on it and in it. And we gonna spread them all
Okay.
out. Peace and
All
love,
right.
respect.
Yeah. Peace and love. Share this video.
Yes, sir. You know I'm sharing them. I got you.
All right. Yeah. Hey,
Hi,
sweetie.
Rod. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good. I just wanted to. I watch you a lot to get a lot of information from you that I already been knowing. I just need to be reassured.
Mm-hmm.
I had a question. I quit my job. I used to work in construction. I'm from LA. I used to work in construction, and I quit my job because something just didn't feel right. So I quit my job, but I like working with kids. I love working with kids. So I'm trying to stay. I haven't been working, but I'm looking for work. I just hope I'm on the right path. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Am I on the right path? Someone told me to quit. I just quit. I just up and quit. So now
That's the same thing I did.
you did.
Big Mama told me not to go back to work, so I ain't go back to work.
I haven't. And look, I always say I don't work for mankind. I work for mothers. So that's how I think I'm surviving. But I feel like I don't have no kids, but I love kids. So I try to go in the field of childcare or daycare. I'd rather if I work for a daycare, I prefer to work for someone of my kind, that's dealing with kids or something.
Look, it's funny you mentioned that. When we talking about tribing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every family needs somebody to organize taking the children out of public school. Right? So we all, in every family, we gonna need one of the sisters that's the head of the family's education.
Okay.
So instead of registering with the Department of Education, they gonna come to Auntie so-and-so house, and she gonna organize them how they gonna be what they need to be educated. She gonna have a group, a team that she put together. They're gonna evaluate the child, ask the child about his as they self. When they get to the point where the child is stubbornly consistent in saying what he want to be, then they're gonna put him in training for that.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's what they're gonna raise them around, because the matriarchy doesn't educate children by what you call batch means. Batch education is how you train workers in a military regimented society.
Okay.
And that's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
So we were right, and they was teaching them to be submissive to the military machine so they don't have to go clash against it.
Right.
This is how you operate under the system. Well, if we're going to overthrow the system, we have to go back to our traditions and our old ways and how we would. Right. So it was like Big Mama had always had her right hand and her left hand girl and right hand, left hand man. This is why Kali Ma got all them arms.
Right. I noticed that she got a bunch of arms on her. Yeah.
Right. Those are representing the helpers. Each one of them is like a symbol.
Okay.
Right. So Kali Ma got all them arms, but guess what? So does Lord Shiva.
Okay.
Right. Because I mean, you can't do none of this shit by yourself. That's what it's telling you.
Right. Okay.
And Big Mama always have her star pupils.
Okay.
Right. She got her golden child. She got the one that's from the blood, one from the fatherland. Right. She got, you know what I'm saying, the one that can work the land. She got them all this, and they organize the child that wants to be educated under that environment.
Okay.
So instead of making everybody learn the same thing, it's like teaching them a trade. It's not that they're not gonna learn other stuff. But by the time they get to be 13, they will have mastered the trade that they want to be a part of, or would be well. And let's say if they want to be a firefighter, they might be able to ride on the truck,
Mm-hmm.
you know, from 8 to like 12 before they can hold the water hose.
Right, as an apprentice or something, just doing the basic,
Yeah.
learning the skill. Yeah, that's
So by the time they teenagers, they can actually fight a fire on their own in the emergency.
Yep, that's true. That is so true. Yep, I got out
So
fast. Something scared me. Like, you need to stop working. You got to get out this system. And I stopped working in what was it, 2020? As soon as that pandemic hit, I said, "Oh, that's my cue."
when I found out this contract was about to expire, I'm ghost. Peace, deuces.
Yeah, I got out the way fast. They've been calling me back to the union. I'm like, I'm doing my own thing. I can't work for the system no more. Y'all in trouble. I don't want to go down with them. I don't want no parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I appreciate you, though. That was just my call. I just wanted to make sure, like, I'm doing the right thing, because I always had, that's been my calling, kids. So some kind of way I got to get in that, get in that field.
Yeah, they over here giving us all of this false information.
Yep.
And none of that shit that they teach us in school is really useful for us.
Nothing from high school, elementary, junior, none of that. I learned more as an adult in the streets on my own than I've always have been in, work, kept money in my pocket, live on my own. I did good. But I've never used anything from school. And people would try to say, well, you don't have a good education. What is a good education? Because you don't know yourself. You don't know nothing about you.
Well, that means you're not indoctrinated well enough to work
and that's
be functional in a system.
I see everything. Like I see through everything. That's why I can't. I tell my friend, you keep complaining about work, you don't want to be there. Why you keep going? Quit going.
That's what I did. That's all I can tell you. Fuck a job. That's my motto. And look, I got a homeboy who was working with me. He got the same motto I got. Fuck a job.
Yeah, you look, if you get away from the system and start depending on you and build you around you, the people that you work with around you, my mom, my brother, we work together, and I survive. I mean, I got everything I need right now, and I don't need.
You always had people that didn't want to do the extra shit, so they'd rather do the regimented shit.
Right.
Right. So they don't want to learn how to create their own life. They just want somebody else to give them a blueprint to follow.
Yep. I'm a leader. I can't.
Right. Those are workers. They just natural workers. They workaholics.
That's my dad.
Right. And yeah. Because it's easier for them to not have to learn all that extra shit to do what I'm doing.
Yep.
Right. And then very few of them have the time, but one of us have to do it because at some point we have to reclaim everything back.
That's ours. From
the interim government, the squatters on the land.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was doing and what this video was about was seizing all of this back, putting us back in the position to reclaim our own destiny.
Okay.
It don't mean people not gonna have jobs. Everybody can't go home and watch TV. It won't be nobody on TV.
For real. That's true.
Right? Everybody go home and listen to the radio. It won't be nobody on the radio.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So always be people that want to talk. Like, I don't like social media. But I need it.
Get the message.
I could use it as a tool.
Right.
And when the job is done and we see these three kings on the land and Larry Hoover tell y'all the survey of the land and what's going on, I ain't trying to be out here on no social media. Right. Fuck social media.
Right. This social media is something else. But your platform, what you're doing right now, is working because you a lot of people understanding the language that you speak in, and it's making sense. Why are we doing what we're doing? We got to take back what's ours, and we got to get the three kings to walk the land. That way we can be where we supposed to be. Because we on our way. We definitely on our way, but we not there yet. But it makes a lot of sense. I appreciate you. I follow you just because of this. I'm like, we need more people like this. If everybody do their part, it'll work.
Yeah, everybody not supposed to do the same thing. I don't know why people think we all supposed to do the same part.
We ain't on the same. Yeah, everybody got a different job. Everybody's supposed to have a different.
We all supposed to do the same thing and look at shit the same way. We gonna never figure nothing out that way.
Yeah, you gotta have a different perspective, and that's okay for everybody to have their own different perspective, because you might need somebody to see what you're not seeing. You know, you might need them to see what you're not seeing, and they can show you their perspective and how they projected it. And then, I mean, you can't.
Hey, look, I wear glasses, right?
Uh-huh.
I wear glasses to see what's going on down the street. But up close, I can see good what's going on.
Right.
Okay, now, before glasses, I would have needed somebody that could see what's going on down the street to tell me, but he can't see what's going on up close, so I got to tell him. Watch that over there, you about to step on that.
That's how it works.
Right? Yeah. Because we know how to complement each other's weakness with strength.
Yes.
When you complement another person's weakness with your strength, and they do the same, y'all become blocks. Like a motherfucker can't move you easy at that point.
Right. You grounded.
Right. So once we start understanding that, oh, Rod already did the shit. This is why this motherfucker running around screaming this shit is over. Babylon fell in your face in real time and you wasn't watching.
You my news. You my class workbook. This is where I get my information from. I know what time it is. When I hear you talk, I know what time it is. I don't watch the news. See, too many people is sitting in front of that TV. They getting their resources, the information from turn that TV off.
Well, let me tell you a secret about the TV. We be bashing the TV. The TV is how the enemy tell us everything he doing to us, but we being so entertained that we not seeing what he telling us.
It's cool if you know what you're watching and you know what you're listening for. But if you don't know, you should be in front. You need to be with, like me, when my parents is watching the TV, I'm there to see between the light and see what they're talking about so I can better explain it to them. But a lot of people don't know what they're just being entertained. And they tell you.
Yeah, like a lot of the stuff that I'm telling them was in the news.
Right.
And they didn't, but the way that they told the story with a slant on it. Where that if you don't have somebody to tell you what they really saying, the double speak.
Right.
The double speak is going to trick the shit out of you and have you looking left when you're supposed to look right.
Yep, that's what we're going through right now. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors. Yep.
Yeah. All right, sweetie, I'm going to take, I think, one or two more people, and then I'm going to cut this off so they can share it.
Okay, thank you, Rod.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, take care.
These young soldiers in the struggle ain't bullshit the muscle. Coming in this month. What's going on, God Body?
What's up, God? First time, I've been tuning in with you.
So with that being said, you have to make sure that
I can't hear you. Something wrong with your sound.
You still can't hear me?
how people apply.
Hello?
There's formal ways how people connect.
Hello?
And there's different ways
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
ensure
you.
that
Can you
both
hear me?
sides get information that they need, but we do
Hello?
it in such a way where it's strategized and
Yeah, can you hear me?
where both people be
Yeah, I can
successful.
hear you.
I'm
I'm just talk. Let me know if you can't hear me. But
any questions on that?
really, my first question.
Hold on. What, you're breaking up just a
I-
little bit. I'm
I
in
can't
the,
hear you, shorty.
Tunnel. Say that.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Chief Dr. Stone. Where you go? Where you go? All right.
Snap. What's good, Rob?
What's up, guy? What's going on with you?
Nothing much, bro. Nothing much. Just sitting here with my lady. What's going on with you, bro?
Just pulling people coattail to what's going on.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
it.
Say, man, you been giving the truth, bro. I appreciate you, man. For real, for real. It's crazy. I can't
Thank
believe
you,
I'm
thank you.
in right now. Man. Hey, but I told you I had a dream a while ago, right? I was like standing at the top of a castle, right? And I got a staff that I'll be walking with. And it was in my right hand and I raised it up. And when I raised it, it was like a bunch of like apes and gorillas that just like went crazy. And then like a few days ago, you had said something in one of your videos about gorillas and totems. So I wanted to like pick your brain about that.
About the gorilla being a totem.
Yeah.
Look, try to learn everything you can about the gorilla. The more you learn about him, the more you can tune into his frequency,
Okay.
right? But the gorilla grip is the strong grip,
Mm-hmm.
right? That means that when you hold your position, you got that motherfucker,
Right.
right? So, the gorilla totem, when you look in the pantheon of zoo types in ancient Kemet, you see there's a conspicuously missing primate. The gorilla's not there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So they got chimpanzees in the hieroglyphs. They got baboons in the hieroglyphs and various kind of monkeys in the hieroglyphs, but they don't have the gorilla.
Right.
Now you can't tell me, because some of the animals in the hieroglyphics don't even come from Africa, like the leopard. They came from over here, and then Europeans took some to Africa and released them in the wild to confuse us to believe that the leopard is native over there.
Wow.
The leopard is from Central and South America originally,
Mm-hmm.
right? It was the great spotted jaguar, but this was the pelt we wore as priests. The stealth priests, or the priests who wore the Black Panther pelt, was the priest that played the backfield. They are always last resort, right? And then they can call other tribal clans to the forefront to give assistance. And the gorilla clan was the last pharaonic totem to rise to rule. So that's why in parts of the land we call Africa today, they don't like the gorilla, because the gorilla represent the ending of an age for them.
Wow.
And the ending of the age is so far away that they don't want to wait on the gorilla.
It's kind of like a last resort thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
When the gorilla totem rise up to, which is the clans of Tahuti,
Mm-hmm.
right? When they start to rise up, this shit is a done deal.
Man. Ooh-wee. Man. That shit wow.
And so, like when I was born, there was rituals.
Mm-hmm.
Before my mother ever got pregnant with me, they started doing rituals while she was pregnant. But a lot of it was concealed in the church.
Right.
Right? But the big mamas knew, but the rest of us didn't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So everybody can't hold on to the same horse, because the rest of the horses will get out the pasture.
Okay.
Everybody hold one horse. What about the rest of the horses in the pasture? So we got to send somebody to get each horse.
Mm.
That way somebody covering each base. Right? So even if one or two get out the pasture, we done secured the whole herd. So somebody got to do this shit solo. They got to walk a lonely journey, because the only way to get to the end of the journey is you have to be able to see everything, and you can't have the distractions of being cluttered with people. Everybody got all of these rogue ideas shooting, busting you in the head. Most of us be thinking that be our shit. That ain't our shit until we own it.
Yeah. Wow.
That's what we doing. Somebody said on Juneteenth, start unifying with the tribes. That's what we doing now, some Juneteenth shit, alerting everybody that this shit is over.
Mm-hmm. So how can we go about finding like our chiefs and our? See, I'm in Texas right now.
Look for the matriarch. She gonna tell you who the chief is,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because when everybody start rallying the matriarch, she gonna put the chief out front for security purposes.
Makes sense.
We in this motherfucker to get bust upside the head, shot in the face, and all that kind of shit
Mm-hmm.
in order to protect our families,
Right.
right? So right now, all we need to do is start tribing up. Your family, just start getting your family together.
Yeah.
Hey, this shit over with. We about to tribe up, right?
I've been,
Find the oldest lady in y'all family,
man.
you know, and the oldest woman in y'all family will be y'all matriarch. Then you got her children, nieces, and nephews all come together under her. That's how y'all raise a matriarch in the family. Everybody, that's where y'all had y'all family reunions and y'all cookouts at. You know,
Mm-hmm.
several times a year. So family member that can't get there in the wintertime, they get there in the summer.
Makes sense.
It's always something going on at Big Mama house for everybody to come and spend some time with Big Mama.
Man, mine just passed a couple days ago, man.
Mm-hmm. She left somebody to take her place. They never leave without leaving a successor.
Yeah. I told my mom that too. I've been telling her, like, I've been watching you for a while, and I've been relaying the message to her. I'm like, look, it's on you now,
Mm-hmm. Most of us don't want to accept the job until we ain't got no choice,
I know.
including me. I ain't want no parts of this shit. But cause I know me, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't want to. If you're not gonna get out of my way and just let me do this shit, leave me the fuck alone.
How'd you feel?
Right? So they got out of my way. I went through each piece of the information, showed you who came to the land, when they came, how they came, who came with them, showed you what we did in response to it, told you what they law said. I told you what our law say. I matched that shit up, showed you the difference in the two. We got the motherfucking de jure position. They got the de facto position. They lost, we won, it's over.
Okay, so far as the system goes, like, it's still like playing out. So how can we go about, like,
Separation from the system is what we're trying to separate from.
Okay.
Go back to the family, organize the family structure. That's all. As y'all do that, y'all gonna start seeing everybody else tribing up. Fuck they system, fuck they vote,
I've been saying
fuck they CGI presidential motherfucking shit on the TV. All that smoke and mirrors. Shit over with. I done showed them where I already told them I had the blood and the right to reclaim the land and to give and put everything back where it belonged. I don't look. I'm not power hungry. I don't want no power. Responsibility is heavy when you got great power.
I know that's right.
Right? Heavy is the head that wear the crown. Nigga, I don't want that shit. That's why I'd rather have feathers on my head.
Shit, I'm collecting mine right now. Man. It's just a lot that our people don't know, and it's annoying sometimes, that they so indoctrinated and so, stuck.
Yeah. It's hard to accept, but it's going on. They giving me a countdown, 30 seconds. They about to end this video.
Okay.
But I appreciate you coming on. All the people that came on. Spread the word, share the video. I done showed these motherfuckers. I done already claimed this shit back for the people organic to the land.
It's about time, Rod. It's about time, fam.